how's it going? So I've made this video a couple times, but I've just never been happy with the way it's turned out, so I'm hoping I can get it right this time. And basically, the question is, can you daily the Skyline GTR? The quick answer is yes. You obviously can daily a Skyline GTR. You know, there's some things that are kind of annoying about driving a right-hand drive car, like if you want to go to a drive-through, or sometimes making a left-hand turn. When you come up to an intersection and you're going to turn left at a light, sometimes it's hard to like try to get over to see if there's a car coming. But really all of that's pretty small inconveniences. But if you're gonna daily Skyline, I think the R33 is probably the best one to daily, for like a whole bunch of reasons that I'm about to go through. So what I love specifically about the R33 is, look, it's got a back seat. I've even got my kid's booster seat in it right now. They're pretty spacious. I'm 6'4", and as you can see, even with a hat on, I've got quite a bit of headroom above me. It gets relatively good gas mileage considering it's got some mods done to it. It's got the Platinum Racing Products R35 coil pack kit. It's got upgraded turbos. It's got a Haltech, obviously, and Fortunato 510s. They might be Fortunato 500s, but I think they're the 510s. And really, the car rides really nice. It's kind of stiff, but not too bad. You know, one of the issues is the car is just kind of loud, but they don't have to be. They make quieter exhaust. I've got the Tome Extreme TI exhaust, so that's a bit loud. But really, I'm just headed to the doctor for a doctor's appointment right now. Nothing serious, just regular 42-year-old man stuff. And I've got no problem, you know, going to that in a Skyline. And the other thing, I don't go through drive-throughs in reverse. You know, when I first got the car, I did it just as like the novelty. But in all honesty, it doesn't matter. A lot of that has to do with the fact that, you know, I am 6'4" and do have really long arms. I was just making sure I was recording. How funny would it be if I was 4 minutes in and hadn't recorded anything? So this car, I don't think it's as fast as it used to be. I think we pulled a little bit of boost out of it. This car, surprisingly, you know, it's a 1995 R33 Skyline with 41,080 original miles. So it's pretty low miles, but it's still running the stock clutch. So the clutch has kind of been going out the whole time I've owned it, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Like, obviously having a strong new clutch would be amazing, but the good thing about this is I've maybe launched this car a total of like 5 times total. So it doesn't really get beat up on from a stop, but I do roll race it quite a bit, legally of course, but really for the most part I just drive it. But without, you know, an upgraded clutch and the clutch kind of slipping, I'm kind of nicer to the car than I would otherwise be. So it's got a bad clutch that's going to get updated. We're also got a lot planned for this car coming up. I kind of like that it's got the stock gauge cluster in it. R33s kind of have an issue, not kind of, they do. They've got an issue with where the tech quits working and you have to pull it out and you have to do some soldering. Shout out to the homies at Frenchie's Performance down in Australia. They walked me through how to fix it. But personally, yes, you can daily an R33 Skyline or an R32 or an R34. The reasons why I think the 33 is the best of the three is, one, it's just a little bit bigger inside. Like, it's not much bigger than the 34, but it's quite a bit bigger than the 32. One of the big reasons is this car just does not get the love that the 32 and the 34 get. When I'm out driving the 34, it's like, it's a thing. You know, if you're a long-time viewer of the channel, then you've heard this story before. But I have had 3 grown men cry in parking lots, not at car shows, just randomly, 2 at a gas station, and 1 at just like a Kroger or a Smith's, depending on where in the country you are. They cried in the parking lot when they saw the car. And, you know, it's a special car. I understand. I have never cried because of that car, but I completely understand. The R32, you know, it's kind of the most popular as far as, you know, the cars that people can actually afford. So there's, you know, a few of those out, but they get kind of a, I wouldn't say similar. I think they get about the similar amount of love that you get in the R35. The R35, it's probably the most / the least dailyable of all the GTRs, mainly because they just do not have a backseat. But the R35 does not have a back seat. It's like, you need to not have legs if you're going to be in the back seat. We just made eye contact. We're going to have to race later. I don't know who that is, but if you drive a Mark IV Supra, I would really like to race you, or a Mark V, because I've never raced a Mark V in any of my cars, and I would love to just see how this car stacks up. This is probably a faster car, but you know, those Mark V's have that automatic, so they're kind of hard to beat. But back to what I was saying, the 32 gets about the same amount of love on the street that the 35 gets. People are really excited to see it. You get a lot of thumbs up. But the 33, you know, the joke I always make is, if you know what the R33 is, then you're stoked when you see it. If you don't know what the R33 is, it just looks like a 2-door Maxima with a wing. So yeah, I think this video is going to get posted. It's probably not as long as I'd hope it would be. I guess it's 8 minutes. It'll probably be 8 and change by the time I chop it down. But if you're thinking about buying a Skyline to daily, get yourself an R33, get yourself an R32, get yourself an R34, get yourself whatever. They're all really good cars, but just know that personally, me, if I was going to own a JDM car, I wouldn't make it my only way to get around. We've got some Fox bodies that we're like doing work on, and it's kind of mind-blowing. You can just go to your local parts store and they've got all the parts you need, and they'll deliver them to you a lot of times the same day. That's just not something you can do with most things with these cars. Like, if something breaks on this car, it's a whole ass thing to try to get one here. Where with the Mustang, you know, you've got 24 dealerships close and, you know, 30 auto parts stores that probably have most of the things you need on the shelf. Like, yesterday we ordered the wrong rear brake caliper for the Fox body, or sorry, the brake rotor, and Mark put in an order for it and it was delivered this morning. That just is not something that ever happens with these Skyline parts. So I would have a second car that you really do daily, and then you take this car out when, you know, you want to drive it, or you're not going to go too far, or whatever. And also, this has 90s air conditioning, so the air conditioner works, but if it's, you know, like 100 plus, this air conditioner's not doing much, and your car's not running great because it's so hot. So get yourself something else. Get yourself a Honda Civic, get yourself a Honda Accord, get yourself a Toyota Camry, get yourself a Ford Escort, you know, just whatever. Get something to daily, and have this car to drive on the weekend. But absolutely, you can daily an R33 Skyline. Please like, comment, subscribe. We've got a lot of really cool stuff in the works. We're gonna race this car against a 96 Viper. I'm really excited for that, because I think This car, I think it's probably around 400 horsepower, and that's basically what those Vipers are. So put in the comments what you think's gonna win, Viper or the R33. Oh, the other nice thing about the clutch going out is we've had to pull a bit of power out of it. So the car's getting beat up on less than it would otherwise. So we pulled a couple PSI out of it. We'll have to see what the race looks like, but I think the Viper will probably get me on the low end, but I think I'll probably catch him because that's just kind of what this car does. But anyways, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what kind of content you'd like to see, because we'd like to take care of you guys. So anyways, see you later.